With the inverters and the batteries installed, I need to keep making some room in the shop because I just have too many parts laying around still and I'm tripping over them. Now, probably the first thing I want to do is get rid of this box right here. And it shouldn't be a big surprise. That's a nice piece of ABS plastic. Got to keep that for later. I have a wine cooler refrigerator. Well, I mean, not like the wine cooler alcohol. This is where you can put some wine in. I thought this would be the best solution because as I found out, this garbage trash compactor is broken and it's kind of gross anyways. And so I need to fill up this space right there as it is. And also I'll be changing out the refrigerator, and it will be a stainless steel refrigerator. But what I like about having a wine cooler isn't because it looks posh or elegant. It's because too much refrigerator space gets stuck with bottles of water on an RV. And so even if you don't like drinking wine, you can put bottles of water in it. Just like that. Now this wasn't an exceptionally expensive refrigerator. It wasn't cheap, but I also want to make sure I had a lock down there so I didn't have to worry about putting a, cabinet or a door lock on it for driving down the road. I mean, let's be honest, last time I tried to put a door lock on a refrigerator, I had to replace the refrigerator. And it looks like it has the same refrigerator in it. Now, I don't know who actually makes this. I got it off the internet, all-purpose store. It wasn't extraordinarily inexpensive. It was about middle of the road, but what I really wanted more than anything was something that wasn't going to be a showcase for the manufacturer and just kind of like be subtle. And I think this is about as subtle as it's going to get because I don't even know who makes it. But having had an RV now, I do appreciate being able to put water separate from the rest of the food in the refrigerator. Of course, you could also put soda or other beverages in there too, but it's also a backup refrigerator. And speaking of backup refrigerators, right in this compartment was going to be where the outside barbecue was, and I did manage to pick up a outside refrigerator. Does this exact same thing. Now you can keep bottles of water outside, you don't have to go inside. I think these are much more useful than the chest refrigerators that the manufacturers try to give you. They're awkward to get food in and out of. And honestly, you can see inside right here what you have and what you don't have. You don't have to pull out a chest, open up the doors on top, and then close it up and say, oh no, I didn't close it all the way, and then break the latch on it. But obviously this is a job for another time. It's out of the way. I don't have to worry about it. So really the first thing I have to do is just remove the trash compactor right here. Flip this door down. There's a screw right there. There's a screw right there. Now I'll just go ahead and remove this and set it aside. And there's another screw right there and down there. Now originally I was just going to keep the trash compactor because having a place to put your garbage is a great thing to have in an RV, especially a place tucked out of the way where you don't have to look at it and take floor space, but you can see a lot of stuff has been disconnected back there. So I don't know how long this hasn't been working, but if you've also been following along, you know that I plan on probably keeping this gold laminate because that does match the rest of the cabinetry in here. Because chances are pretty good I'm going to need that. Otherwise, I have no need for this at all. Mostly, I'm hopeful that I got my measurements right. And I always just assumed that Liberty painted them gold, and I was correct. They are just painted gold. This part there was the giveaway. That's kind of surprising. Extension cord permanently installed. Won't miss hearing that. Looks like I made a trail of baking soda on the floor there. At least I think it's baking soda. Now, of course, we just installed the new inverter, so these don't do anything anymore. I do have the inverter turned on. Looks like the trash compactor has a broken breaker right there, and it's going to become a refrigerator. So we're probably going to want that circuit on the inverted circuits down there where the red are. So we'll have to decide what's not going to be down there anymore. Tough decisions, tough decisions. Now for the time being, I have an extension cord right there. And a vacuum cleaner right there. And now, without running the generator, I can vacuum. All right, well that wasn't too bad. This wire right here is just going to the toe kick lights. We'll worry about that in the future, but we'll take that out of the way. I guess to see if it fits. But before we take a look at that, I figure everybody would like to see what it looks like behind the cabinetry. So that's the outside wall. Liberty bundles all the wires right there. Gotta be a little honest, it's a lot of wires. These should be 24 volt and 12 volt and Romex. It looks like probably have tubing for plumbing, copper tubing maybe for refrigerant, because I think right over behind the refrigerator is a cruise air. And again, don't forget, we're going to be replacing this refrigerator anyway, so I wanted something that would complement that refrigerator, and I think this will do a pretty good job of doing that. All right, let's see if I can't get this in there. Now, believe it or not, there is a method to my madness. I haven't put a new floor in yet because I don't want to damage the new floor with all the work I'm going to be doing inside. So this works out pretty well. Also, it does say to make sure it keeps upright during installation right there, not to flip it on its side. All right, that's about as far back as it can go, which is about even with where it's supposed to be, right over here. Now this one does have a reversible door. I wasn't going to reverse it, but now that I have it in place, even though this seems like, the correct way to open up this refrigerator to get access to everything, this isn't going to hit it on that side, but the refrigerator, even though this isn't the best example, because this one opens up like that, I think the handle's sticking out right there. It might interfere with the refrigerator opening up nearly completely. I don't know if you can see right there. So what I'm going to do is flip the door around real fast, put the door handle on. Looks like the door handle will be on this side. Move those plugs, move them over there. And it did ship with new, looks like stainless steel and cast, I don't know, cast aluminum brackets. It's pretty high quality. Let me do that real fast. Just a 4mm wrench, and there's 2 bolts down here. You just have to loosen up. Well, not loosen up, but get out of the way. It's not too difficult. Then it just comes out the top hinge, has a peg fitting in that hole right there. So now we just have to take that plug or cap off of this side. And then also there's these little threaded in plugs that'll fill in the holes on this side. I'm going to move the handle to the other side. Now, truthfully, I didn't even want the refrigerator door or the cooler to have a handle, but none of the options I saw came without handles. I prefer not to have one. I think it's just as easy to grab it from the side like that, rather than having this big handle sticking out. I'll put it on for now, but I'm going to be doing the refrigerator here shortly, so this will have to come out anyways. But I am playing around with the idea of maybe putting on one of the matching cabinet door handles right there and making that blend in a little bit. So I'll keep this as an idea. Now I reserve the right to relocate the door again and change the handle again depending on the refrigerator that I end up getting. Now down here, trying to figure out how to keep the refrigerator mounted, I came up with this angle aluminum right there. What I will do is, there's a foot, actually it gave me 3 or 4 extra feet. I'm going to drill a hole through the front 2 feet, and then I can just screw this down to the floor, and then put a self-tapping screw into there so I'll keep it from sliding out. Now up on top, I did happen to salvage this piece of cabinetry face. It's supposed to go right there, and that'll make it look like it's built in. I won't glue this in yet, because like I said, I think I have to take this out again. But I also want to do one more thing. Perfect. Even with the secured out the bottom, it won't slide forward, but it could tilt. based on installing stoves in a house, an anti-tipping bracket. I went to my parts department and I retrieved some brackets that you might normally use on a Maxi vent cover. A little bit of modification later, and look at that. I have an anti-tipping bracket that will go underneath the back foot on this side, so it won't be able to tilt if somebody were to grab the door and pull on it. So really all I should have to do is just trace where this front foot is, right on the tile. I don't want to drill through the tile because that's a lot of extra work that I don't want to do. Right there. Pull this back out again. Just cut this bracket in half. Just like that. Using the extra feet as a guide. We'll go right there. All right. We're lined up right where it needs to be, right about there. Back that out, and this will just slide underneath. As I push it in, I'll screw it down first, and that'll keep it from tipping, just like on an oven or a range. All right, so this is what I got. Those brackets mounted right there. We'll screw the feet into that. I got my anti-tipping bracket back there. Hopefully I got that measured out right. We'll find out here shortly. And then I did went ahead and I put a P-clamp to secure that plug, so you know, I don't have to worry about it dangling about and being in the way. So hopefully with that, I can just slide it over those brackets down there. All right, all I had to do is lift it up. That's why I had the space on the top right there for the back feet to fit underneath. It's gonna be very, very difficult for you guys to see. Can I even get a view for you guys? All right, so you can see the foot is underneath that bracket back there. So now this doesn't tip. Now I have to do is drill some holes right back here, level it out, and screw it down. Just using my favorite washer-headed screws. They are self-tappers. Feel pretty good about that. So now, yeah, not too bad. And then the most important piece that we're not gluing in yet is going to be this guy right here. I'll leave it just like that. And this will look like a factory installed this, hopefully, 30 years ago. Still not sure if I like how the refrigerator door opens up that way. I can put a little bit of a vinyl stopper right there so it wouldn't hit the refrigerator, but I don't have a refrigerator installed yet. But this does open up that way so you can pull those shelves out. And let's see. Wow. Hey, that works too. All right, so much for installing a inverter. Here we go. I guess 41's as cold as it goes. So you can't turn it into a freezer. That's good to know. Ooh, does it have a light? Oh, it does have a light. Cool. For everybody else, I guess. 18 degrees is right now. Now you can read it. One more thing. I need that later. So really the first thing I need to do is remove the garbage